How does acting make you a better coach?
Oh, in so many ways. That's a good question. I think, well, it's really funny that you asked that question, because the first time I started coaching, it was at the gym that I was a member of. And I remember when I went from looking at the whiteboard to then turning around and facing the class, how like intimidated I was. So it was really interesting that it was all about sort of like confidence of how you deliver your class and being prepared, because I thought to myself, oh my God, I perform in front of thousands of people live every night, but then I'm coaching a class of like 15 people and I'm terrified. Does that make sense? So I think it kind of made me go, oh, the importance of doing your class plan and being prepared was one of the most important things before it clocked onto class. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did that answer the question?
Yeah.
Yep, great.
Yeah, I think so. I think some of the best feedback I got when I first started coaching was, rather than just focusing on being really technically astute, was to focus on the entertainment value as well. Because I think I was so worried about giving people the perfect cue and like changing their life through some like new technical thing. Forgot about just trying to deliver it in a really fun way. I think, once I started doing that, it's like if you have more fun as a coach, then everyone in the class has more fun as well.
Absolutely.
So that kind of like performance aspect.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think also you need to be, there has to be an element of leading role that happens. Well, leading role as in being the actor leading role, but also leading role as in leading the class, because you then have to sort of be in that center of not demanding respect, I guess, but you just have to be confident enough, especially, and I'm going to play this card already, being a female in strength sport sometimes is a bit difficult, especially if you're a new coach. So you just have to be solid and be confident in yourself in that space, so that then people will listen and people will get what they need when they listen. And does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's changed over the years you've been involved as a coach, and just in terms of women in strength sports? Because I think I've noticed definitely a shift in our membership base over the last few years. Like we're pretty much 50-50 now, which is awesome. But I'm wondering whether like how that feels from your perspective.
Yeah, I definitely think there's more women in strength sports now and coaching. I don't know if it's changed in regards to being able to step into a space and having the instant respect that men have, if that makes sense.
I don't know.
Coaching a class.
Yeah,
when coaching a class.
You think men step into a space and have instant respect?
I think so. I think I'm speaking on my own experience, that I've coached in a few gyms and I've coached across a couple of countries, that it takes a little bit of time for the members to respect you as the person who's going to tell them when they're doing something wrong. You instantly don't get... I watch men coach, and if they are to cue another male, then I feel like that's respected. But as a female to cue a male and they don't know who you are, then I don't get that same... I have to earn that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, interesting.
I think that's improved, but it's still around.
What would your advice be to like a new female coach if they're in an environment like that, where it's mostly men?
Question. I probably would say don't let it get to you, because it's not a you problem, it's a them problem. And I guess I would just say also don't allow that to sort of shake your confidence and your confidence in cueing and coaching class, because I know that it did to me a little bit in the beginning. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. You can definitely get rocked by rejection of your coaching. That's probably another good thing that acting preps you for, because I imagine there's like huge amounts of auditioning, rejection, that kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
I definitely found when coaching, if you give some advice to someone and they reject it, it does really hurt. And as you said, you have to try and not let that get to you, and still
that's exactly what it is, actually.
Way.
Because now the guys, like, listen, where I coach in Australia, the guys they're so great. And if I've got something to say, they are so receptive of it. I do find that sometimes if there's a new person, they're not as receptive. But I used to take that on myself, and like you said, like, but now I just go, well, that's really sad for you that you're not going to take that note, because that's a really good one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that I've sort of, it's kind of a little bit off my back now. It doesn't affect me as much. So I guess a new female coach in the strength and conditioning world, I guess it would just be, don't let it rock you. Don't let someone rejecting a cue rock you, because it's generally not about you.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
What about handling rejection in acting? So that's
that's a good question.
I mean, I did some acting at school, but there wasn't obviously like high pressure around getting roles, and there wasn't loads of auditions. I know, just like knowing myself, I would find like getting rejected for a role really difficult. How do you handle that?
Yeah, in the beginning it's really hard, because you think, what did I do? What was wrong with me? I thought I was great enough for this. I thought I was good enough for this. And then you take it personally. But in regards to casting, the more that I've done it, like I've done it for 17 years now, you kind of understand that it's not all about you. There's such a big picture to casting roles and shows, and it all comes down to very minuscule details. And you just have to learn that what you have as a product is something that you're proud of. Like, I'm very solid in my product as an actor and a performer, that when I walk in a room and I give my audition, I know very well that what I've got is really good. And then I leave. And if it matches what they're after, then great. And if not, that's fine. It's just not meant for me. That job isn't meant for me.
It's interesting speaking about yourself as a product. So if you were developing a product, like a usual rule of thumb, it's like you want to build something that 80% of people just dismiss out of hand, and then you've got 20% of people who might be really attracted to you, almost because you turn off the masses. So it's interesting, like describing yourself as a product, where actually if you were just mass appeal to every single audition, you'd maybe be too vanilla.
I wouldn't want to be mass appeal to every single audition. But also you can't be, because every piece of writing, every piece of music is so different, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and this is a really silly analogy, but like they've got this saying in Malta, which is like, that's why every part of the cow is sold. Not every part of the cow is the same. So it's impossible to please absolutely every single person or group of people, like, or match that piece of music and match this piece of direction. Like, it's just impossible. So it's kind of like planets and stars aligning, that you're ready to go into this and work with that person. Like, it's such a big picture. So it's never rejection, it's always redirection. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What piece of the cow do you think you would be if you had to name one?
The butt. I don't know.
Cameron, what would you be?
I'd say ribeye.
Ribeye? Oh, very
okay.
nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I think I'd be the nose, maybe.
The nose.
Yeah. That's thrown me a little bit, actually. I just obviously had to ask that. But yeah, I think I first knew of you indirectly through the weightlifting competitions back in the day. So like the Wit times Ronin, big weightlifting competitions back before you left for Australia. And then I was obviously stalking you a little bit for the podcast today. So you were a member of Wit, then became a coach. I'm guessing that went over here for acting.
Yeah, I moved over to do West End, and I did that almost immediately. I ended up within 4 months, I was in my first show on the West End. And then I fell into CrossFit because I had to go do a show in Chichester. Not had to, I got to go do a show in Chichester. And I was doing F45 at the time. And I went there and there was no F45 gym. So I was like, well, what do I do? And one of my dressers was like, well, I do CrossFit. And I was like, oh, that's CrossFit. And so I went to this class at, I think it was called The Hive, in the middle of this roundabout in Chichester. Such a lovely gym, beautiful community. Touched a barbell, sucked at it, loved it.
Yeah.
Was like, I'm addicted to this. This is really cool. And then I moved back to London and continued with CrossFit, you know, snatching my empty bar and trying my best. And then fast forward to around, I joined WIT as a member in 2018. And then I went to classes there. Then I dropped the CrossFit because I was doing lots of shows where there was lots of dancing and I just couldn't keep up the high intensity in the dancing. So I moved to just Olympic weightlifting because I found that was like a better mix of volume on my body. So I could do the reps for weightlifting and the squats and the pulls and keep that heart rate relatively low and then go and do the shows during the day because the CrossFit was a bit too much. And then I got a little bit burnt out in 2019. I had the most incredible year of my career where I ended up doubling up on all my jobs, which means like you rehearse one show during the morning and the day, and you go do shows at night. So all of my shows doubled up throughout the year, and I ended up with LA Opera and Chicago Opera at the end of the year. So I was traveling, and I just said to my agent, I was like, I'm a little bit burnt out. I'd like to just take some time off. So I took 6 months off in 2020 and then I was going to start Frozen and I wanted to work in the shop in Witt.
Yeah.
I just wanted to have a little bit of time off. So I ended up working in the shop and then we went into lockdown. So that's where I kind of went member to like working in the shop. And then during lockdown, I did my British weightlifting.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, maybe this is the time to start Plan B. We'll talk about Plan A, Plan B in a sec. But this was my time to start Plan B, and I really loved weightlifting, and I wanted to learn how to coach it. So I did my level 1 and level 2 online, which was such a good course with BWI. I really enjoyed that course. And then I did CrossFit online, and it was like all by myself in the gym at Witt. I had to get permission, and we were kind of allowed out at that time. And I loved that course as well. And then when we came back, I think we came back at the end, was it the end of 2020 we started to come back into gyms for Coached Open Gym?
That would be beginning of 2021.
21, that's
yeah.
it. That's when I started coaching.
That's exactly the same as me, basically.
Right.
I did online BWL and online CrossFit during COVID.
Gosh.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I had a real job pre-COVID, and then like during lockdown, I was like, I'm not going back to an office. Interesting. When you said you were doubling up shows, rehearsing for a different show so you'd have to have essentially 2 sets of lines in your head.
Yeah.
Is that not really full on?
Yeah. But once you're in the show, like once you're running shows, it's kind of like muscle memory.
Yeah. So you're running one show and you're rehearsing for a different show in the morning. And then you're learning another one.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's really full on.
That's why I took the 6 months off. Well, I took more than that because the universe was like, oh, you want a break, do you?
Is that a
Here's a
normal
lockdown?
Is that a normal thing to do?
In London, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. In Australia, no.
Okay.
But in London, yeah, it is if you're good. No.
Yeah.
It is pretty normal. Like we've got a few people in Avita at the moment doubling up because there's just lots of work here and lots of good work. That's why I loved living here. But if you do it off too much, like what is it? Compound exhaustion. So you just end up burning yourself out. And I did it for a year. So
how do you learn lines at this stage? Do you have a system for learning them, or you just pick them up when you rehearse now?
I'm a little bit different. I learn lines with blocking.
Yeah.
So if you were to say to me, you have to come to the first day of rehearsals with all your lines down packed, I'd be screwed. Because I read the script, I have an idea of what's going on, I kind of get the gist of it, but I like to come to rehearsals a little bit free so I can be directed. And then as soon as we start putting the blocking in and we start directing it with emotion and intention through the script, that's when I start to learn it.
Yeah.
Because then it has an emotion attached to it, it has a movement attached to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to, I'm sure this is probably wrong, but I learned stuff by literally writing it. So like the act of writing by hand just helps me memorize stuff. So I used to write down, write down the whole script, essentially anything that involved me. And then I would start just writing down my cues and then trying to fill in the gaps. And I would just do it over and over and over and over until I knew my lines, and I would just be like heaving through sheets of paper. Extremely like manual way to do things, but it was the same when I was revising. I would just write by hand stuff, and then I feel like I'm connected to it through writing.
Yeah. So you're like a visual learner.
If any type of learner at all, yeah,
visual
probably
learner.
visual.
I'm a physical learner. It's really, which is helpful when you start coaching people. You understand Are they an audio learner, visual learner, physical learner?
Yeah.
Like it's definitely helps you being
Yes.
able to get your point across.
Yeah, it's interesting experimenting with a different cue on someone. Yeah, if you give them that cue and then they reject it because you've described it using words, sometimes people are like,
yeah,
that means absolutely nothing to me, and then you
Yeah.
show them and they're completely fine with it.
100%. Like with on my onliners, Loom is the best tool for me because I can bring them up, I can slow it down, I can draw, and then they're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, make sure you do, I'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
What was it like being at WIT? I guess you could compare it to the place you're coaching at now in Australia, where it's somewhere that obviously transcends a normal gym experience, and then being a massive brand as well.
WIT 1.0.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I liked when I joined. I really like being in spaces where I'm challenged and I'm not the best, which is essentially why I've always left a place that I've lived if I feel like I've gotten the most out of it or I've grown out of it. So I've just always been that person that sort of seeks to just continue to improve myself or get people to push me to improve myself. So I really enjoyed when I joined WIT in 2018. I remember joining and then there was like so many incredibly strong and fit women. And I was like, holy crap. Like this is a whole other ball game and I want to work as hard as to be able to keep up with them. And then also in that time, Gus did such a really good job of bringing incredible people into the space. So with the brand behind it and what they were doing at the time, we got to work with or meet really cool athletes. The space also had like an elevated presence because of that. So then when I started coaching, I was able to sort of utilize that stage in, for example, the WIT comps. With the weightlifting, I wanted to make a little bit of a change in weightlifting comps and how they were run, and sort of elevate that experience for people who probably would never go to a national or an international tier 2, tier 1 international, where you like get to arrive, you get your goodie bag, you get like your photos, you get premium kit. Like I wanted that, and that place essentially allowed me to sort of elevate and see out my visions for that.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Well, you guys hold the record for the biggest tier 3, I believe. And I know it because I've set it as like a long-term goal for London Weightlifting to boop you guys one day, but it would obviously have to be a 2-dayer.
Yeah, well, we were a 2-dayer, weren't we?
Yeah.
We did 12 sessions over the weekend.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I was exhausted.
Yeah, and then like, bringing in Aleko as a partner, I think that's the
Yeah.
thing where you see the difference between like a WIT and then what we do. It's that ability to bring in partners and kind of do community-based marketing. Like it's obviously a completely different beast to just running a gym, being a gym.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that gyms can learn from that, basically.
I must say though, I think I might be speaking out of turn, but when we approached Virus because we also needed assistance in we didn't want people's ticket price to go up, right? So when we spoke to Virus about it, we were like, if you would, I had the ability to hire out a pop-up store space. Does that make sense? So they were able to contribute to the competition, which helped us pay for TOs, helped us pay for stuff. But then, WIT were like, absolutely, like you're contributing to this community event, please set up your pop-up store. It was very much a very opportunity for them to also have a space in central London that their products could be touched and seen. But when Aleko came on board, they were very much interested in being part of it for the community that was built, and they were wanting to be part of it in that way that they could see that we had built this event. And I thought that was really cool that they could see that, because that was Chris Campbell and my goal.
Yeah.
Was to create this event one-off in a year where everyone from every single barbell club can come together and just have like absolute vibes and in an elevated space. So I'm glad that we got to do that.
Yeah. No, it's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And still coaching back home in Australia now?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not as intense as what Max and I did with the club in Wit, which is quite nice. But yeah, so I run the weightlifting club out of Seoul, 365 in Adelaide. And I've affiliated that with Sola, which is SA Weightlifting. And then, yeah, I just program for their Ollie classes and they love it. And I'm actually hosting my first comp in September. And yeah, it's going to be great. A couple little vendors, I think, because Tenzing are moving.
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah.
Australia. Yeah. So I'm on that train.
Nice.
I'm like, hey, want to caffeinate everyone. So, and then get their product out, because I think it's the best place for them to drop some cans is with weightlifters and CrossFitters. So, you know, I'm a big fan of their brand.
Nice. And then balancing that with acting.
Yeah.
What's you're like a dancing heavy acting role. Is that your usual thing? That's just what I saw on your Instagram the other day.
I used to be the dancer tracks, and now I'm mid-30s, so I'm more singer-mover.
Nice.
And if I can, we call it a park and bark. If you can just stand and sing, that'd be great.
Oh, nice. I really like that.
So, yeah, more singer-mover tracks now. So in Avita, I get to leave the stage when they all go into all the crazy dances.
Nice.
I go, what's new? Hey. And then I walk off the stage and I just watch them on the monitor, like, crump away. I'm like, good on you.
Oh, that's nice. But always musicals?
Always musicals, yeah. I've done one play in my life. It was a really cool experience, but I have always just ended up in musicals.
What's your dream role?
My dream role?
Yeah.
Well, it used to be Christine and Phantom, but I'm a bit too old for that now. So I think I'd have to say Carlotta, because she seems fun.
Nice.
And also doesn't do as much work as Christine. And then when I was 22, I covered Mary, and I loved that role. But she's a big role. So I think if I go back now, and I would probably go for Winifred, because
Nice.
she's fun.
Favourite role that you've played?
I think to cover, or like, cause to go on for my cover was Mary Poppins. That was a
Yeah.
very cool role. But I think I have favourite shows that I've done. Like Avita's definitely one of them, because the score for that, for me to sing as a soprano one in the ensemble, is very rewarding. So yeah, just artistically, it's a really wonderful score to get to sing 8 shows a week. And I loved working on Follies at the National Theatre. That was a really cool experience. That was such a wonderful production to be part of.
Did you do a English accent when you were Mary Poppins?
I did.
So you can do it.
Do you want me to do my English accent for you?
That's quite nice.
It's not bad, is it?
Yeah, that's very nice actually.
Thank you.
Cameron?
I'm okay, I'll pass. I need close to the mic.
What have
Oh my
you
gosh.
learnt as you've got older about acting? Something that you didn't know as a younger actor?
It's really not that deep. You know, just have a little bit more fun with it, I think. Yeah.
So you're not one for like method acting, that kind of thing?
No, I do musicals.
Yeah.
I do musicals. No, it's just not that deep. And, you know, like, I used to put so much pressure on myself to just try and be what I thought other people wanted me to be. And at the end of the day, I just found what I am. And I'm really proud of what I've worked on with my, I'm going to say product, because essentially that's what you do. Even as coaches, we are our business, right? And I enjoy that I don't have any doubt when I sing something or I deliver a line, like this is me, and I'm super happy for us to work on it and create different things. But I'm very confident with it, and I like being in that space, because at the beginning of my career, I just consistently doubted everything, which I think put me in a really different output of energy than I am now.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I think it's interesting, like usually the advice across broad spectrums, like coaching, acting we've spoken about today, it's like relax, enjoy it more, just makes you perform so much better. I'm trying to be a bit more optimistic at the moment, just in terms of business. It can be so serious, especially like trying to run 2 businesses. The people who do really well kind of see it as a game, and it's just business is the game they're playing. Just try and relax, try and enjoy it, and it goes a lot better. But yeah, I definitely found that when I was coaching at the start, when it was so serious, and then you realize you're teaching people how to do weightlifting.
Yeah.
The best thing about that job is like the low stakes of it. You're just trying to have a nice time with people trying to do something that they enjoy.
Yeah.
So the more you can relax, the better it's going to be for everyone, really.
Yeah, I think zooming out is a big tool. Like anytime that you feel overwhelmed or trapped, you just need to like just zoom out. And just even to the point, like sometimes when I'd go on for roles, like, because most of my career I've covered leads. I've played leads, but I've covered them. I think covering's more terrifying because you don't get to play it as often. So it doesn't become yours. Like you might not do it for 2 months and they're like, oh, you're on for Glinda. You're like, great. What?
So that's like being reserved if someone's ill, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So you do your track in the show, and then if she's off, like you're on.
Yeah.
So I just remember standing in the bubble, waiting to go on and just being like, okay, I'm in wherever I was, Sydney, and zoom out. I'm in Australia, zoom out, look at the world, like look at what's going on in the world and what this moment is. And like, it's not as intense as you think it is. It's just a show. Like just chill out, zoom out. So I just kind of think about that anytime anything is like overwhelming or starts to close in, like you just need to zoom the fuck out.
Yeah, and usually like it takes a while to remember to do that kind of thing.
Sometimes, yeah. But if you have people around you that are good friends, they'll tap you on the head and be like, you need to chill the fuck out.
I usually find with Nino, he's quite a good little reminder because I'm just like, I enjoy just being with Nino so much. Like, okay, if I can just enjoy my dog that much, then obviously nothing else can be that serious.
But also the energy is so simple.
Yes.
Very simple energy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He's a very nice piece of kit.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, and then you're leaving us on Monday, did you say?
Yeah, I go home.
And you think you'll come back? Would you come back if you got another role here? Basically, you just come back to London whenever.
Yeah, like when it's a little bit different now. I'm 36 now. Being 36 and I'm engaged, about to get married.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You just got married, didn't you? Oh my god, look at us. Mine's a barbell one.
That's cool,
thank you. When I was younger, I could just go and take jobs, but now there's so many things I need to consider when taking a job that takes me away from home and away from Max, and that would be like, is it monetarily going to improve my life? Is it going to improve my career? Or is it something that by working with that person going to improve my career? And I think you need to definitely have two out of three of those things. Does it make sense?
Yeah,
one of my friends said that on a podcast, and I was like, that's so true. You can't just take any. I'm at that stage of my career where I can't just take anything, because I can't continue to leave my family.
Yes.
And be on tour. I've been on tour I just got home 2 years ago. I got home, so 2023 I moved home, and from then I hadn't been home for 16 years.
Wow.
So my family, when I was telling them I was coming back to London, they were like, you just got here. I'll be back, I promise. Mum's like, that's what you said last time.
Yeah.
So it's if it improves, if it's money, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Definitely open to it, but it would have to be something that is worth me popping everything on hold and coming back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, well, hopefully you do. I was glad, we got you on for the podcast before you jetted off. Where can people find you if they want to see more of you?
I'm only on Instagram.
I think that's fine.
I've got the TikTok, but I don't know how to use it.
I'm the same. I've downloaded it and I made an account for the gym as well. Like, I am going to TikTok. I did one and I was like, fuck this. It's just strange out there. I don't care for
I don't understand. Do you know what I don't understand about TikTok? Is I've got it because the Avita group, like our Avita cast is mostly Gen Zers. And they keep sharing things from the TikTok and I'm like, I can't view the videos. So I was like, I'll download it and I'll just watch the videos. And it's scary, man. Like, here we are talking about imposter syndrome and talking about the confidence in running a class. And there's a whole other generation that hold a phone up to their face and go, I just did this today. And I'm like, who are you?
There's a lot.
Who?
I feel like Instagram's more than enough.
Instagram, I'm fine. I can manage it.
17 Instagram accounts or something like that
great.
for the moment. Well, I've got my personal one, the gym one, Coach Ops one, Sober Strength Club one, 4.
God.
I need to drop the gym. Nino, I'm not actually signed into. I refused.
I've got 2.
It's already, it's enough.
I've just got 2.
I do actually have like an old one if anyone wants to try and find that. It's like my personal one pre-coaching days.
I've got an old one too.
Yeah.
When all the photos were taken on 3G, iPhone 3G. Wild. But no, they can find me on Instagram, but that's about it.
Perfect. That's enough, I think.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me.
That's okay.
Hopefully this was a good podcast.
We'll see.
Don't remember what we spoke about.
That's all good. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Nice.